Peace, y'all. This is Oubria. I am going to do a reading for y'all today for the collective, and I'm going to call it for whoever needs it. I know I'm very consistent with some things, but with doing actual readings, especially on YouTube, I am hella sporadic. And doing readings is a very spiritual thing. There's one side where there's the learning side. A lot of you that are subscribed to my channel are actually my students. So there's the learning side of tarot, yes, but then the feeling where you actually get called or you feel called to read for other people, that's like a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother side of it. So I don't do that very often. I won't say I don't do it very often, but I will say I have phases where maybe I do it a lot, and then I have phases where I don't do it at all. But I feel like it's about time to come back to that. I don't know, the seasons are changing, the energies are shifting, and something just kind of woke me up and said, okay, it's time. So this isn't going to be a reading for astrological signs or anything like that. This is just, is for whoever needs it. So for some of you, it may feel very personal. It may resonate a lot. For others of you, you may be like, what the hell is she talking about? This has nothing to do with me, and that's fine. But yeah, this is for whoever needs it. I have a bit of a message before I even start shuffling the cards, but the message is give it until next year. I feel like a lot of you, and I include myself in this, a lot of us may be in a place where we're just waiting for the madness of 2020 to just end, and we want things to shift and change, and it feels scary when it looks like time is marching forward. We're about to go into the cold months, and there's still this traumatic thing that happened to the world and to the earth and to our lives and our daily routines, or if it didn't affect us, it affected everyone around us. And I feel like, when it comes time for it to be warm and cozy time, when it's getting a little cooler and it's turning autumn, you want to make sure that everything's okay. Like before you go, in and start your fire and, cook your holiday meals and gather everybody close to you, you want to make sure that everything's okay. And I feel like we're going into this season without that reassurance, and that's scary. And so, but the message that I'm getting is like, it's scary, but it's not, because for some reason, something is taking longer than it should. There's just like one final ingredient that has to be added to everything to make, to make this final click happen, to make you understand, like in hindsight, okay, I understand why all these things had to happen, because this other thing happened. Okay, well, the other thing hasn't happened yet, so we don't understand why the hell this other stuff had to happen. And it's a very frustrating in between space to be in, and it's very vulnerable and it's very scary. So yeah, but the message that I'm getting is actually one of comfort, which is to say, how we feel is known, how we feel is felt, and none of this was expected. And I feel like we can get to a space where we look at God or we look at the universe and we say, we know that you guys have all the answers. So whatever your plan was for this, like, please let it be revealed, or please help me understand why things had to be this way. Please give me some comfort. Please give me some reassurance. And I feel like the universe is trying to get us to understand that us and the universe are one, and both of them is uncompleted. The universe is not, or God is not, a completely completed entity. It's always expanding, just like we're always growing and changing, and our lives are always changing, and changing is the only constant. It's the same thing with the Most High. It's the same thing with the universe. Like, space is always expanding. So there's always going to be things in the darkness that the light cannot prepare for, because it's in the darkness. Like, the light is traveling to meet the darkness, but the darkness is infinite and it's always growing. So there's always more things that we don't know, and that includes God. So I feel like 2020 was like go to work with your parent day. Like we got an up close view of how stressful it can be for the Lord, just making shit happen for everybody and dealing with things that nobody planned for or expected. I mean, the Bible is full of that, full of examples of God telling people to do one thing and they just do what they want to do. They just do something else. And then God has to come with a backup plan for that, and a backup plan for that, and a backup plan for that. And you know, we do have free will, so we have to account for that. And so, so it's like our faith can't be just faith in what we think God knows, right? Our faith has to be in the nature of ourselves. In the it's almost like you don't have faith in the car, you have faith in the freaking car maker, you know, because some cars are going to break down. Some situations are not going to last. But if the car is made well, if you have faith in the place where you got it and it has a good reputation, and you know that ultimately they get their cars on the road and they keep their cars on the road, then you feel comfortable taking that car to a mechanic and saying, I feel comfortable investing in this problem. I feel comfortable investing in finding a solution for this thing that I didn't expect, because I still have faith ultimately in this thing that I put my life in and my body in and my kids in every day. So that's a metaphor for a car. I don't know. I think I'm kind of channeling right now, so sorry if that didn't really make sense, but I think you feel me. Okay, so that's the message I get. We have to have faith in, so I guess that's faith in ourselves, right? Like, we are our creator's creation. So when it comes to times like this where we don't know what the fuck is going on, we have to trust that we're built to withstand it. So not so much cry out for the circumstances to cease, you know, but just feel gratitude that we are built to get through it. It's like if you're in the midst of a storm, but you're in your house, if you feel safe in your house, do you pray to God to make the storm stop? Or do you just get your mug of tea and look out the window and say, thank God I got this house. Thank God I got the roof fixed. Thank God, you know, I got flood insurance. But thank God there's nothing valuable in the basement. And I'm up here on the second floor. And, you know, just thank God for protection. That's what we need to do instead of crying out for relief. Because the truth is, ultimately, if you are able to pray for help and change and relief and all of that, what you're really praying for is comfort, because you're alive. If you can pray, if you can ask, and I'm not even saying like you get on your knees and pray, but I'm saying like a prayer within your soul or within your spirit. If you can ask for something, that means you have the mouth to ask, you have the circumstances to ask. That means you alive, you have a life that's going on. And yes, you may want things to go a different way, but look at God, look at you're alive. Because, honey, if there's one thing 2020 can teach us, is that everybody can't say that. There are people who literally just miss their life, you know, and would give anything to have the problems that we have. So, yeah. Now let's get to the cards. This message is for whoever needs it. Or this reading. That message was for whoever needs it, but this reading is for whoever needs it. This is my this is my mega deck. It's 2 decks put together. But I love it like that, because sometimes when you do clarifications, it's really spooky when the exact same card comes out. It'll just be like double confirmation. And like I said, a lot of you are in my class too, so if this reading seems like extra long or extra detailed, it's only because a lot of you are studying with me anyway. You have the 2 of Cups came out. And so I just kind of want to, I don't know, like, let's do a process together. Let's do a reading together, okay? So 2 of Cups came out. Just going to pull 2 more cards. Exactly. Isn't that funny? Okay, Lovers at the bottom of the deck. I pulled out the 2 of Cups, and so sometimes if I pull out one card, I'll start talking on that one card before I pull out other cards. And the Most High was like, don't even get stuck on that, because you need to pull out those other 2 cards. And thank goodness I did, because look, the Wheel of Fortune was the very next card, and then it moved into the 3 of Swords. So I'm getting that there is some sort of partnership that we definitely shouldn't rush into, even if it feels very comfortable, even if it feels like home, like it can last forever, like this is a soulmate, I've known this person before. And this doesn't even necessarily have to be in in romance. This could also be in business. But I'm just getting there's this feeling of something feels right because it feels familiar. And I say that because we have the lion up here, and the lion is the strength card. That's the number 8. We also have these 2 snakes intertwining around this pole, which also reminds me of the number 8. Number 8 is cycles, it's infinity, it's things that you could do forever and ever and ever, or certain lessons or situations that always come back around. So that's why I'm getting this is very comfortable, this is very familiar. But the dynamic of the 2 of Cups is, it can go either way, but it's very difficult to be mutual. And I say that because the 2 of Cups is Venus in Cancer, and Venus is the Empress, Cancer is the Chariot. So if you've been studying with me, you know that the Chariot is about is as much about movement as it is about no movement at all and just holding still. The Chariot can be forward movement, but it's also that block. It can be an emotional block where it's difficult to work through, because it has a lot to do with your intuition. It has a lot to do, if we think about the 2 sphinxes on either side of the Chariot, one is white and one is black. So it has to do with the things that you know and that you see, but also the things that you don't know and that you don't see. And you can't know what you don't know. So that's our intuition sometimes, just giving us like a little light into the spaces where there is no light, and just giving us that inkling, right? So in a two of Cups relationship dynamic, what you tend to have is somebody who's very much in the Venus energy, which is the Empress, which is giving and abundant and growing and nurturing and all of that. And then you have another person in the dynamic who'll take that, yes, but they don't give anything back necessarily. So it can feel very comfortable to be in situations where you give everything and the other person gives nothing. Conversely, it can be comfortable for someone to be in a situation where they take everything and they don't give much, and they're fine with that. With these 2 of Cups scenarios, it tends to be either or, but I'm saying it's rare that it's a mutual give and take. It's either, one person. You heard what I said, okay? So but after the 2 of Cups, right, is the Wheel of Fortune. So this is about forward movement after the Hermit's reflection. So I feel like somebody has come to an understanding about this, that they're in a dynamic where someone's always going to take from them, or they're always going to be the one giving, and they realize that that's just what it is, and they're in the realization that that's what that is. That like calls that person, in their soul, they kind of call out for reciprocity, real reciprocity, because maybe they thought that that's what this was. Maybe they thought that this is what love is, where love is where I just let people love me and let people give to me and don't give nothing back. Or love is where I give you the shirt off my back and the teeth out my mouth, and and you don't give me anything. Maybe somebody thought that that's what love is, but I feel like in seeing for what it really is, okay, it's like you can't even take it personal, right? You just say, oh shit, that's what that is. And then in your soul, you're like, okay, but now I want to know what love really is, right? It opens you up for more, because this can't be all there is, right? And so that's when the Wheel of Fortune comes into play, which is the universe, and Jupiter is the Wheel of Fortune, and Jupiter did just turn direct. I feel like it was the day before yesterday, right? So Jupiter was blocked, right? It was retrograde. So we couldn't move. Even if we wanted to move on past this, we couldn't. It was like, this is just all that there was, right? You try to move on from it and you just end up stuck in it again. But now Jupiter is direct. So it's time to move into relationships where you really do understand what love is. But what's crazy is we have the 3 of Swords after that. Now, the next card after the Wheel of Fortune is the Justice card, right? That is Libra. And the 3 of Swords is Libra energy. It's Saturn in Libra. But it's a restriction of, Saturn is about restriction and, cycles of learning and being kind of pressured. Okay, so I'm getting that there is no relationship coming. Okay, so this is a hard ass lesson, I feel like, depending on what you want. But I feel like we're being moved into, or whoever resonates with this message, I resonate with this message, but it's like being moved into self-love. There is no relationship on the other side. We have the Three of Swords on the other side. So it's a restriction of relationships. It's a restriction of, because I feel like it's like real love is now understanding where you hurt. If that's the first step, is understanding how this type of dynamic may have hurt you if you were the one giving everything, or how this type of dynamic may have hurt others if you were the one taking everything. So the first step to learning what love is, or what anything is learning what it isn't, right? So we've had the first step to learning what it isn't. That's awareness, is saying, okay, well, it's not this. And now we're being moved forward into the understanding of how this has hurt us, or how we've hurt others, and or both, because we're usually on both sides of this scenario in different relationships with different people. I'm gonna go around one more time. For me, the Three of Swords is a card about indifference, because indifference hurts worse than hate. When someone just really doesn't care. To me, the Three of Swords isn't about somebody who may have like hurt you or backstabbed you or whatever, but it's really about just not giving a fuck. Just, I don't care about you. So I feel like we are being moved into spaces where we are forced to face the ways in which we didn't care about ourselves. We didn't care about others. Others really didn't care about us. And then it's like you can't even be mad. You can, but you can't, because you realize that if somebody doesn't care about themselves, they can't care about you. So then you just realize like how much the people who have hurt you or not cared about you really don't care about themselves. And the way that you have treated other people, if you cared about yourself, you wouldn't have treated other people that way. Like I said, it's both and both. There's something else I wanted to say. Kind of slipped out my head. Oh, I wanted to say what my sister said. One time my sister said, when you there's this, she read this somewhere, it's a quote or something, but it basically says like, once you finally face all the ways in which other people have hurt you or abused you, the last thing you have to do is face all the ways that you hurt and abused yourself. So yeah, that's what's next, because I feel like we might be in a space of looking for a relationship to heal those wounds, but not to heal them, but to avoid them and to put them off on other people, which is what this is. This is just loving people the way that we were loved as children. You know, it's just completing it's a generational cycle with this 8 here. It's doing what you've always done, what's always been done in your family, in your friend group, in your soul group, all of that. But we're having to face the imperfection of our ways, of our habits, of our cycles. All right. So I'm going to put one on each card. Here, this goes over here. This goes here, and this goes here. Okay. So to me, this is about atonement with the Four of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Is love saying I'm sorry? Does love mean going back and saying I'm sorry to the people? And I'm saying that because, okay, I immediately went to the fact that the Three of Pentacles fell on top of the Three of Swords. So this is 2 threes. So this is about, threes that's Empress energy. It's about expression. And see, with the Three of Swords here, it's like if you don't care, then maybe you do care, but you don't express that you care. Maybe you don't say anything about what how you feel about other people. Maybe you take for granted, you feel like other people should just know how you feel about them, and so you don't say anything. But I feel like 2020 has taught us too that when you love people, you should let them know, because tomorrow was not promised. You know, I'm looking at this like, I mean, you look at these clouds, right? And it's the Three of Swords. This could be somebody who passed away. And they passed away with a hurt heart, because they didn't get to, you know, this is with the Three of Pentacles. It's like, oh my God, I was just going to call this person, or I was just going to talk. I was just about to, you know, tell them, or I didn't tell them. And it's just like, it's too late. There's nothing you can do now. Hearing that song, it's too late to apologize. It's too late. Yeah. Like, yeah. The thing about going from the Two of Cups kind of love to the Four of Wands kind of love. Two of Cups kind of love, where one person takes and one person gives. They're both based on this premise where no one wants to say no. Either no one wants to say no, or no one wants to hear no. No one wants to be the person to say it, and the other person doesn't be the person to hear it. So the person who takes and takes and takes, it's because they just want what they want. They don't want anyone to hold back from them. They don't want anyone to say no to them. So this could be a person who maybe as a child wasn't given enough discipline, or discipline. Because they don't like to hear the word no, and they go into relationships with that attitude. Like, and so when their partner says no or has boundaries, then that person kind of throws a tantrum. Now, the person who gives and gives and gives in the relationship, they're a person who doesn't want to say no, right? And it could be because maybe in their childhood their boundaries were never respected, and so if they felt differently than their parents or their siblings or whatever, they were punished for their opinion. Or if they wanted space, they were made to feel like that's a bad thing or whatever. So they go into adult relationships feeling like if I want this person to love me, if I want this person to stay and not be mad at me, then I have to say yes to everything. So these kind of relationships are very natural, right? It's like, it's only natural that people who never want to hear the word no should link up with people who never want to say it, you know. So that is what that is. I mean, that's real. But when you move into the Four of Wands energy, Four of Wands is about relationships where, you know, I mean, if you look at these two people, one person is getting what they want, one person is not getting what they want. Now, it's not always the same person. Those things have to go back and forth. But that's how you create a stable relationship and a stable home, is compromise, right? So on one hand, Four of Wands situations can be bad if you feel like you're settling, if you feel like you're compromising yourself and your morals and your values to be in a relationship with a person. But even if you're in a space where you can see that that's what's happening, then you can get out of it, right? You can get out of it. Wheel of Fortune to the Six of Wands. So, two, this is about being in situations where you feel stuck in the situation with the Two of Cups. You feel like you always have to agree to this situation, or you feel like you may not want it anymore. Or there's also situations where you always deny them, or you always push them away. You always say no to them, but maybe you kind of do want it. Maybe you kind of do want to give to a scenario. You may feel stuck in that pattern, like you know, you don't know just how to get out of always being in the same whatever. But I feel like a maturity, growth, Four of Wands, right, is moving into a space where you can admit what you do like about your situation and admit what you don't like about your situation, because then that gives you the strength to change it, to give a shit enough about yourself and how you feel and your energy and what you're giving your energy to and what you want the universe to put its energy behind as it pertains to you, you know, what you pray for, what you ask for. It's like, are you asking for the strength to sustain some shit that should actually fall apart? You know, like, Lord, please give me the strength to keep making myself miserable by staying in this situation, and not complaining about it. You know, when you could be putting your energy towards saying, please help me to accept the fact that I don't like this, and please help me to find a way to get out of it. You know, allow me to sit with my discomfort enough so that it changes my circumstances. So then in that case, the Three of Swords with the Three of Pentacles is kind of like not, you can't care. Two of Cups is all about caring. I care what people think. I care if people leave me. I care if people need me. I care if people give to me. I care if people fuck with me. I care if they don't. We gotta stop giving a fuck. You can't care, okay? You can't care. You have to say, look, this is what I want. I want what I want now, okay? Like, you know, because so it's almost like regression too. It's like being more mature by being less mature. Getting out of that, you know, adolescent, like 8, 9, 10, 11 phase where you just really want your parents to care, and moving back into that 1, 2, 3 phase where you don't give a fuck, you just want what you want, or moving into the 13, 14, 15-year-old phase where, you know, you don't give a fuck, you just want what you want. Both of those phases are very important for carving the life that you want and that you deserve. But you're the only person who can give it to you. So since opportunities and relationships, even money in life, they come through people. You know, you don't walk up to a tree and say, give me money. No, you get a job, or you have a business, you have customers, or you have a boss, you have clients. It's all through people. Marriages, relationships, friendships, what's the word? Networking, all of that shit, opportunities, they all come through people. So if you're more caught up in what people think of you than making sure you're aligning yourself with the people who are in alignment with the life that you want, you're always going to be stuck in the life that you don't want, because 9 times out of 10, the people whose opinion you care about not even living the life that you want anyway. That's why there's this discordance, or this I'm trying to say this, like, what's that word? Or it's just like discord, where the frequency's off, where it's not simpatico, it's not melodic, it's I don't know where, I can't find the word, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, shit, when things go together, it just goes together. You know, it flows. But when it doesn't, you have to ask yourself, okay, well, where am I going? Not, how do I want to make this relationship work? Or how do I make this person stay with me? Or what? No, it's like, no, you have to get in touch with your star player first, okay? Where do I want this to go? Me. Where do I want me to go? My life to go, okay? Wheel of Fortune with the 6 of Wands. This is about you, just you, yourself, and the fortune behind you. And as you're fortunate in your own life, then that's when you meet other people who are fortunate in their lives. You meet your people. We'll go around one more time. This is for whoever needs to hear it. You got the 9 of Cups, Hanged Man, Chariot, and the Moon. Then there's a card in here that's turned around. Where is it? Four of Pentacles. So there's an Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So the Four of Pentacles, it was kind of turned around in the deck, facing the other way. I feel like we're focused on the wrong shit, and we've been doing that for a long time. But it only takes a moment to focus on the right shit. You know, luckily that doesn't take much out of you. It just takes a shift in your focus. So that's a side message. Yeah, okay, so we have the 9 of Cups clarifying, the 2 of Cups, and the 4 of Wands. So this is just saying that, like, we have to face our fears. You have to face the fear of somebody leaving you, walking away from you, You have to face the fear of being all by yourself with the Nine of Cups here in order to really even be able to offer somebody else a true version of yourself, a true relationship. And it has to be the same for another person, because that's the only way where you can realize that you're being grounded in yourself and your identity is the only thing that matters for you, and everything else will be added unto that. But the universe does not know what to send you if you do not know who you are. And if you're in relationships trying to be what other people need you to be, then you're not, it's like you're not sending off an authentic signature. You're not, it's a counterfeit order. You're asking the universe for shit that when you get it, it's really not going to make you happy because you did it to stay in smaller spaces. So the only way that you can ask for the right things, expand in the right way, is by being true to yourself, by actually being yourself. But I feel like we've been, so in terms of relationships, we might be coming out of a phase or going into a phase where we're in relationships with people that really make it very clear to us who we are not, because we can't deal with that shit no more. Hey man, I gotta give this up. I have to just do me, be with me, get me together, and dream about myself and what I want for myself. And then I feel like out of the darkness of that dream, out of acknowledging what you really don't want, what you really can't deal with anymore, no matter how much it hurts you to have to leave it behind or walk away, how scary it is, how lonely it is, this moon card here, how much you want to cling to the same patterns or go back to the same groups of people, or go back to the same emotions. Ain't you, I'm tired of feeling the same feelings. I'm tired of feeling the same fear, the same anger, the same jealousy, the same rage, the same, it's just it's exhausting being the same. It's like a baby in the womb. There ain't no more damn space in here. There has got to be another world. And there's a whole nother world. But we have to move towards it. And it's this Chariot card is from my very first sample deck. And I got this card so much last year that this is what I've done to it. But it's I feel like the Chariot is our body. It's our vehicle through which we navigate the very confusing path of the lovers. And this is what happens. This is what happens. I mean, this is what you thought. It's a war, man. It's a war out there. What you thought it was going to be pretty. You thought you was going to come out of life pretty and not banged up and dinged up and fucked up and sad and all of this shit. No, this is it, man. This is it. This is our life. This is it. All we get to do in our little dinged up Chariot is change direction or keep fucking going or be still. That's it. But there's bombs out there. There's shooters out there. There's just accidents we get into on our own out there. It's damn 2020. It's not that many mechanics out there. It's coronavirus out there. It's oh my God, it's so much. But just going back to my channel message, but look at you. Look at you holding it all together. Look at us surviving despite all that shit. We survived, man. We are the survivors of 2020 so far. That's how I feel about that shit. Even I feel like I might not get out of 2020. I don't feel like it's guaranteed to know, for nobody to know for sure that they're gonna make it out this year. This year is like a fucking sniper. And I feel like it's very assumptive of anyone to believe that they're above all this death around. Nobody is. But doesn't that make you want to do the most with the time that you have, with every single day, with every single decision? Isn't that a blessing to make you stare down the barrel of death that is 2020 and fucking live your life? So we got to get up from this Four of Pentacles too. It's more than just surviving. It's more than just holding on. It's more than just holding together. We have to live. I feel like we got to take some risks, man. Or what's it all for? So I'm going to close it out with a oracle card. Okay, an oracle card and then and then a story if I have time. If it cuts off on me though, because my phone might run out of space, I'm done. I'm not going to record a part 2, but if it cuts off, God bless y'all. The rest of this is just bonus. Let me do this oracle card. Mistakes. And the same card ended up at the bottom of the deck, spaciousness. What do I no longer need? Help me, God, to release whatever people, places, or things drain my vital essence. Show me what will fill me with enthusiasm